Hey guys, it's McKenna, and it's also Devo time. I have been thinking all week about what I was going to talk about. I wasn't really sure what I was supposed to say, and so I started looking through my journal, and I actually found something that I thought would be a really good lesson, not only for you guys, but also for me to look back and remember. To start the story off, I'm going to have to go back a little ways, but a while ago, I was so strong in my faith. I felt like it couldn't be broken. I was really high on God. I was just where I was supposed to be. And then it just started to fade away. And I was like, what am I doing? Like, why don't I feel strong in my faith anymore? Why don't I feel close to God? There's this distance, and I hated it. I felt like when I was distant with God, nothing else really seemed right. So I was like that way for a few weeks, and it was awful, and I couldn't figure out what I had done to take myself back this far. I didn't know, nothing big or tragic or anything happened to push me away from God, but it still happened anyways, and I was confused. I started praying. I was like, God, show me something. Like, what am I doing? Why don't I feel you anymore? And so I started flipping through my Bible, and this passage came up. I'm going to read it to you. It says, "Then Peter got down out of the boat, walked on the water, and came toward Jesus. But when he saw the wind, he was afraid. And beginning to sink, he cried out, 'Lord, save me!' Immediately, Jesus reached out his hand and caught him. 'You of little faith,' he said, 'why did you doubt?'" That's in Matthew 14:29 through 31. I was like, okay, wow, God, that was a really fast lesson. All I had to do was ask for your help. What I started thinking about after I read that was when I was on my high with God, when I was at my all-time high in my faith, I started to take it for granted. I started to put myself on a pedestal and look around and be like, I'm really close with God, so I'm probably a little bit better than you're doing right now. Oh, I would look at people and be like, you just made a bad decision, and I probably wouldn't do that because I'm really high up on my faith right now. I was giving myself the credit for all my accomplishments and for all the good things that I was doing. I was directing all of that towards me. And when I read this, it just kind of hit me that I was walking on the water, and I was like, I was looking at Jesus at first, and then once I got all high and mighty, I kind of looked down at the water, and I kind of looked at myself and gave myself the credit, and I fell. I fell in the water, and I started drowning in it, and I couldn't get myself back up because I didn't want to look at God for help because I felt ashamed at what I had been doing. I felt ashamed that I was being all high and mighty, and so I didn't ask for help right away. And so I started drowning, just like Peter did. And then once I sat down and I started praying and I asked God for help, I was like, God, show me something. He showed me this passage. And it's just so funny because in the text it says, immediately Jesus reached out his hand and caught him. Immediately. Not, okay, I'll give her a day to kind of sink again, or I'll give her a few minutes. No, immediately. He said, McKenna, you're not focusing on me, and you're not giving me the credit that I deserve, which was completely true. I was focusing on myself, and I was giving myself credit for things that I didn't do. I just think that's so important because even if you are doing so great in your faith and you feel like you're on an all-time high and all-time and you're proud of yourself, you can still fall because you can still do things wrong, and you can still give yourself credit that you don't necessarily deserve. So this week I would encourage you guys to not only seek God and try to get really strong in your relationship with Him, but also give Him the credit for bringing you where you are today. I hope you have guys have a good week, and God bless.